And now, your official TigerBait postgame show with Mike Scarborough and Preston Guy starts now.
All right, everybody, welcome in a post-game edition of TigerBait Live, and certainly LSU took care of business. It wasn't pretty. We knew all season long that any wins would be ugly, and this one, Brian Lazar had a good point. He said this game was entertaining. I think unless you were an LSU fan who demands perfection, I think anybody across the country that tuned into this one was absolutely entertained. LSU gets the win. Frank Wilson with a great press conference afterwards and a little emotional about it, talking about different things. And but they get it done. 23-22. Harlan Berry, one of the stars of the game. Michael Van Buren played very well. And it was a little bit of a mixed bag throughout. We're going to talk about all of it and more. And we're going to go for a solid hour or so. And we're going to get to as many of your comments and questions as possible. But all right, Preston, give us your thoughts.
I mean, it's always great to see the boot remain in Baton Rouge. Probably bigger picture wise. I mean, LSU's not playing for much this season, but this ultimately it was your best chance at securing a winning season today. Cause you look at it, LSU was going to play Arkansas today. It would have been a tough game. Okay. But you got the win. Western Kentucky next week. You could pretty much count on a win there. And then you got to go to Oklahoma, which is going to be a tough call. By the way, Oklahoma up on Alabama right now. So road trip to Norman for Oklahoma, that would have been a tough bill to ask for. So if you drop today, you would have been 6-6 with an upcoming bowl game coming up. And, it's one of those things, who really knows what to expect out of a bowl game? I mean, because you don't know how many of these players are going to stick around. Today, you were down to one full-time scholarship quarterback. So if Michael Van Buren goes down with an injury, my God, what would have happened? Probably Juwan Johnson rolling out there at quarterbacks. All that to say,
or Emil Picarella.
Yeah, or Emil Picarella, the walk-on. By the way, a talented walk-on out of U-High, but I have no idea what I would expect to see from him in an SEC action. So anyways, all that to say, win today, no matter what happens, unless you drop to Western Kentucky, you will almost certainly have a winning season. And I think that having a winning season, what is that, 24 out of the last 25 seasons, that's a big deal. Finishing every regular season with a bowl-eligible record, that's a big deal. Shows your program has a high floor.
Yeah, but then it isn't a big enough deal, is it? As BK would say, you fans are spoiled. All right, let's dive in. Dane Bergeron, thank God Duck season started today and beach volleyball is on the horizon. Fire 3449, hit the like button. Fred Bright, go Tigers, great win. Andy Whitaker, rumors say Kiffin is a done deal to LSU.
What rumors?
Yeah.
Andy, go ahead and post whatever scuttlebutt you hear. We'll address whatever scuttlebutt. I haven't heard any such rumors.
Tim Edwards, I put the Grigri on that kicker. Fun game. Brian Burgess, it was entertaining, but frustrating at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Kiffin and LSU can be the new you, says Fred Wright. Fire 3449. Mike, why don't you like the idea of Frank getting the job? I just think that there's more qualified people out there. That's why.
I mean, I'll touch on that briefly
but if the next coach wants to keep Frank Wilson and because he views he as a fantastic running backs coach, or if he wants to keep him on as an analyst who also recruits the state of Louisiana, however that works, that's fine. But no, it's he's been head coaches before. And that's just not it. It doesn't make sense.
He's also been a head coach, and he's never had a winning season once in his career. I mean, and I'm saying this as a pro Frank Wilson guy. We talk about his running back rotation, not liking it, but ultimately he's an elite recruiter. And if you were in the locker room tonight and seeing the way he valued and appreciated the wins, the emotions he had, the young men who went out of their way to tell them how much it means to them that he got this win. This is a leader of men. This is a great man. But ultimately, I mean, to be the head football coach at Louisiana State University, you need to have a proven record of winning football games. And right now, Frank Wilson simply doesn't have that.
Jeffrey Maxwell Esquire, Garrett Nussmeier, 9 starts, 1 game ball. Michael Van Buren, 1 start, 1 game ball.
How about that for a stat?
Andy Whitaker, very proud of the defense to hold that offense to 15 points. Absolutely.
Blake Baker got on Twitter, by the way, putting that out there, saying, way to hold one of the best rushing quarterbacks in the SEC to 15 points. He knows about your running quarterback comments. He's putting it out there.
Jenny Fell, what are the chances Frank Wilson becomes the next coach? Well, we just answered that.
Slim to none.
Yep. Aaron Hornsby, go Tigers. Yeah, I think you might be right, Jeffrey Maxwell. Nuss is finished at LSU. I have strong doubts that he'll play again. And
by the way, I have it on good word that Nussmeier has been fighting off this injury all season long. It's been up and down, and it has been affecting his performance. That does explain a lot of the struggles. Doesn't explain all of them.
There's Preston trolling me within how many minutes of this show?
Well, you know, I do have that on good information. You know I do.
Yeah, and I got it the other way, Preston.
All right. Well, there you go.
Yep. Bowl eligible, not always guaranteed. Congrats to Frank and the boys. Absolutely. What about Hurley? Well, he left the program.
Yeah. He wasn't dressed out or anything. In fact, he didn't make the trip to Alabama. Nobody was really talking about that. I didn't realize it until I looked up today. But yeah.
Fire 3449, Mike, I don't want the Louisville head coach. His team last night was constantly getting unsportsmanlike penalties and undisciplined. I did not get to watch that game last night. Stu Tepper, kudos to the boys today. We could be a dumpster fire with the loss today. Could have been. Jeremy
look,
Franks, hey, Mike, who do you think is going to be the next head coach? Jeremy, I really don't have any idea.
He just asked it straight up, man. We'll be talking about it all day long. I do want to address real quick, Mike. Remember looking up and it was 14-0 and they had outgained LSU 101-8, not 18 or 18-8. And we were sitting there like, dude, this is going to be ugly. And then we're sitting there thinking like, okay, well, Van Buren can't hit the broadside of a barn. Who are you going to turn to? I was looking on the sideline for Hurley. It turns out Wilson Alexander put out a report that he's left the team for family leave or whatever it may be. It was like, okay, who do you turn to? Jawan Johnson, Emil Picarella? And we were sitting there thinking this is going to be ugly. Kudos to Frank for keeping his team's head in the game, down 14-0, blocked punt, couldn't move the ball. Basically, you got dominated in all three phases of football for your first, 12 minutes of this football game. Kept his teams focused, head in the game. Would have been easy to dial it up and quit. They didn't, and they went out there, took the lead, got a win, and good effort for the boys. Could have won a lot more, by the way, if Harlem Berry didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
very smartly slide.
Almost 400 yards of total offense. Durham and Harlem Berry with nice averages, 5.4 for Caden, 4.7 for Harlem Berry. That's very nice numbers. 100 and in fact, let's do this. I want to make sure I know what the They give LSU 155 rushing yards total, but I don't see where they make that adjustment, or is that automatic?
The net, yeah, I got the net. Hold up one second. I'll pull it up. 174 yards, 5.3 yards per carry. That's adjusted for sacks. So that's a really good day.
It is. It is.
By the way, one thing I want to point out about particularly Harlem Berry's average, we're talking about 11 for 52 with a long of 14. So a lot of times you read off a running back stats, it's like, well, okay, well, his long was 54, but he had, 18 carries for 95 yards. It's like, yeah, it looks good until you realize that 17 of those carries were pretty bad. All of Harlem's carries are pretty effective today. 4.7 yards with a long of 14. And by the way, he sealed the game. He put the game on ice. And this is something I'm going to beat on my chest about because it's not going to show up on highlight reels and it's not going to be talked about. It's not going to show up on a stat sheet. Harlem Berry had what? A 20-yard run for a touchdown broken off and smartly decides to slide at the 8-yard line to mathematically secure the win. Because remember, if you score that touchdown, you're going to go up 8 points, right? And there's a good probably 95% chance you're going to win the game if you score it, but there's a 100% chance if you take a knee at the 10-yard line and let the clock run out.
All right, let's hear from attorney Kenneth P. Haines. Of course, he's been one of our post-game sponsors from the very beginning. And here we go.
Kenny Haines is a proud 1989 graduate of LSU Law School with a passion for justice. Kenny stands out as the only lawyer in the state, board certified in both appellate practice and family law. Drawing from 34 years of trial experience, Kenny has navigated the most complex aspects of real people's lives. If you need help in Northwest Louisiana with a family issue, legal issue, or a highly skilled trial attorney, call Kenny 318-222-2100.
All right, and let's talk about Alumni Hall right there in Perkins Row. Do all of your Christmas shopping for the LSU fans in your life at Alumni Hall. Shop online at alumnihall.com/LSU or go to their beautiful store in Perkins Row. And as like I tell y'all each and every show, use code TigerBait, all one word, and you're going to get 10% off every time you go in the store or order anything online. You're going to get free shipping on orders over $99. And the great thing about doing all your Christmas shopping with them is you're going to get it quickly. It's going to ship from the Baton Rouge store. And again, they've got the Hall Pass rewards. For every $150 you spend, you get $10 that you earn in reward for future purchases. And they've got all the new quarter zips, all the sweatshirts, the hoodies, all the stuff from Johnny O, Peter Millar, Southern Tide, Nike, all the really nice stuff. Believe me, if it's got an LSU logo on it, they've got it at Alumni Hall in Perkins Row. And I need to talk about Genesis of Lafayette. You see it right there on the screen. 0.99% APR for 36 months, 1.99 APR for 60 months, and 2.99 for 72 on the Genesis G70 and GV70. You cannot beat those deals at Genesis of Lafayette. You're the premium luxury dealership that offers the finest cars and SUVs in the region, coupled with the best service anywhere. Genesis of Lafayette has a huge inventory of new and certified pre-owned Genesis vehicles, 6600 Johnson Street. And like I say every show, there is a reason why they sell more Genesis than any other dealer in Louisiana. How do I know? Because I went through the process. And when the local dealership wouldn't lift a finger to find what we wanted, and we were never got callbacks and didn't try to find the right color combo we wanted, made one call to Genesis of Lafayette, and we had the vehicle within a week and a half. That's why. And to say nothing about great service and great prices. All right, let's dive in. Jeffrey Max says Lane Kiffin is going to be our next head coach.
Mike, should I go ahead and spill the beans on that? Or maybe wait?
Yeah, go ahead and give your thoughts on that.
So, if y'all been following the site, y'all know I've been reporting a lot of information. I'm pretty connected with this story about Lane Kiffin and his next departure. As of now, I can tell you that it looks like Florida is the team to beat for Kiffin. The Ole Miss side of things are expecting that, although they have started to calm down from where they were in the middle of the week, where it was like, oh man, they basically were wondering if it was over, and they're starting to calm down and feel like they're still in it. But I'm gonna tell you, people around that program, they are not necessarily super worried about LSU. I do know as of a while back ago that the bye week was supposed to be when Kiffin was going to take some time to meet with LSU, which their bye week, of course, starts basically tomorrow. So we'll see if that still comes to fruition. Now, the reason I'm hesitant to even put that out there is because I'm getting a ton of just what I'm hearing is Kiffin and Sexton are just pure unmitigated chaos. They're saying all sorts of things, doing things, and I don't think that's really breaking any news. I think anybody who knows those two could probably put two and two together and be like, yeah, that's going to be a lot of chaos. So it's kind of one of those, it's almost like dealing with the Joker. Okay. You really don't know what you're dealing with here. So that's kind of where things stand is Florida. I still feel like Florida is the team to beat until things change. I will be anxiously waiting to see if that bye week for LSU still comes to fruition and if LSU put some big cards on the table. I think me and you can agree, Mike, that Lane Kiffin is definitely LSU's number one target, right?
I tend to think that he would be. Let me take that back. There's the pie in the sky list, the guys that you want to call first. That is your true order.
Saban, Lanning.
You want them to tell you no, and please don't say that name.
Saban?
No.
Don't say Saban's name, or is there another name?
No, don't.
He's pie in the sky, Mike.
Verge Osbury. Verge Osbury is, man, who wants a 76-year-old coach? How long are you going to have Nick Saban for if you got him?
Does he have
and there's
7
a reason why he left Alabama to begin with. But Marcus Freeman I think would be the number.
Oh, so he's pie in the sky. Okay, all right.
He's the pie in the sky Verge guy.
Okay.
I mean, because Verge has a relationship with him, and his son's the starting linebacker for the Fighting Irish.
All right, so there's the pie in the sky, and then there's you're just high. That's Nick Saban, right?
Yeah, and then probably Lane Kiffin, because I bet if you quiz the entire committee, they'd say that would be their guy. While Verge might have Freeman over him, but they're probably neck and neck. And then from there, you start getting into, Brom and others. Drinkwitz. I mean, some of those guys, it's tossed their name up in the air, and whatever lands, it's, what is it? Basically, bars of soap slivers between each one of them. I mean, how do you separate everyone else? Whether it's Brom, Drinkwitz, Dillingham, right?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good coaches.
Sumrall.
I think after we'll call it the pie in the sky category, although there's varying levels of how high that pie is. It's Saban, Lanning, Freeman, and Kiffin, and I think Kiffin's the one you have even a decent shot with. But after you get through them, I think there's a lot of good coaches: Sumrall, Brom, Josh Heupel, even guys like coordinator hires out there. I like a lot of what you could get out of Kelvin Shepard, Joe Brady, Will Stein at Oregon. Glenn Schumann is a name that I think we shouldn't sleep on. I think that a lot of them could convince me that they could win good and be good at LSU, but I mean, there's also no Grand Slam candidate. Let me ask you this, Mike. Of the names I just named in that second tier, do any one of them move the needle more or less than the next one?
Man, I think there's reason to look at a guy like Dillingham.
I like Dillingham.
And I like Sumrall. I'm not one of these people that buys into you can't hire a Tulane coach. I don't believe that at all. And I don't think that would faze anybody on the committee.
Mike, let me ask you this, though. Do you think a coach needs experience, whether it be at the G5 level or the P5 level or P4, 5, 6, whatever, beating top 25 teams? Shouldn't he have a couple good wins to his resume?
No, because I'm also arguing that I'm not. It might be that a coordinator that's never been a head coach is a better hire than a G5.
Well, that's true too. Okay, so you're not looking for coaches.
I mean,
with
look at the
big
track record of some of the former coordinators that are
Sure.
their teams are performing at the highest levels.
Mike, every hot coach in college football, with the exception of Kirk Cignetti, was a former elite coordinator at the P4 level. Okay,
Right.
I mean Kirby
Yep.
Smart. Look at Ryan Day. I mean, look at Mike Elko, Clark Lee. Every single one of them. And I think that that's what you need to go for. I've written a column. You need a tactician, and you need to hire them on their timeline. Marcus Freeman, Dan Lanning. I mean, the list goes on, guys. So that's why if you tell me Will Stein and Dan Lanning without head coaching
I like Will Stein.
I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not even mad a little bit at those guys getting named that, because it has a proven track record of working out.
Yep. Fire 3-4. Mike, I just had to watch almost 45. Yeah, that's a lot. You should have had to have been able to skip within 15, but I'll say it again. I know a lot of you in here. I can see the demographics of a lot of you. I know most of the people in here are YouTube junkies and watch hours and hours of it daily. And if you're not paying for YouTube Premium, if you watch that much YouTube, you need to. Yeah, you get a whole lot of your life back when you have no commercials.
I think YouTube should give it to us all for free, given everything we've been through with their ESPN debacle. Mike, you don't even know what Sean's talking about, and you're just putting that comment up there.
Yeah,
what is Mike right about? What is Mike right about, huh?
Everything, man. Get with
everything. You know, I was joking with a bunch of people coming into this game today, and we give Mike a lot of crap for being negative. He's the negative Nancy, and it rubs off on Zach, and we call him negative.
Am I worse than negative Nagy?
Yeah, you are. Of course you are. Anyways, we give him a lot of smack because before the season he was talking 9-3, 8-4. The rest of us were like 10-2 playoffs. Okay. Here's the thing though. As negative as Mike always is, it's always worse. It's always worse than what Mike is projecting.
Yeah, D Rollins. I'm like President to see, man. Nobody's more than me.
Have I said that? Did I say?
I mean, when Arkansas went up 2 scores, I was on Twitter having some fun saying, "Have you guys watched any good series lately? What do you think of Pluribus on Apple?" And yeah,
need to come out.
I'm ready for this season to absolutely be over with and talk about how much of the signing class they held on to, who the new coach is, what the coaches he's hiring. And getting ready for the January portal. I'm ready for the future.
We need a new season of Severance to come out.
Yeah, Andy Whitaker. Barry is going to be so good. I really hope we don't lose him. I'm with you, Andy. I love Harlan Barry. Watching him get that first down and then slide. He's just a smart football player. And what's he going to be like when he's close to 200 pounds?
Mm-hmm. He's special.
The sky's the limit for him. And look, when we have all these debates about what current staffers, whoever the new coach is, should retain, et cetera. If Frank Wilson's not the running back coach, I would want him to be an analyst.
Somehow, some way retain.
Just so Harlan Barry sticks around.
So, Mike,
either way, I don't think Harlan Barry would leave anyways. I just don't.
Question. Every coaching search, you tend to think that they need to clean house and change up a lot of things. Are you kind of...
I'm always a proponent for cleaning house.
Yeah. So are you still of that mindset, or do you think certain guys should be retained? Because
I like cleaning house.
I don't
like saddling head coaches that have particularly really head coaches that have I don't want to use the word binder, but have their program what they want and what they look for and have good coaches on their current staff wherever they're at, or coaches that they've always wanted to hire.
Yeah.
and maybe they're available and they want to come to Baton Rouge because they're, they've always want to be at, whatever the scenarios are. I just don't agree with that. BK was in a bind because none of his Notre Dame coaches came with him. He didn't know anybody down here, and he made some mistakes. And so, but
Mike,
if Eli Drinkwitz ends up being the guy, well, how high are the odds that Blake Baker and it gets kept in Peoples? By the way, if Blake Baker doesn't end up getting a head coaching job somewhere.
In that binder, Ed Ogeron said, I'm going to get the best coordinator in college football, right? And that coordinator is going to be Lane Kiffin. Of course, Lane Kiffin got pushed to FAU to be the head coach there. Ed then wanted to promote Steve Ensminger, and they said, hell no. We're not promoting Steve Ensminger. If you're head coach, you said best in college football, go get him. So like, okay, well, who's the hottest OC right now? Matt Canada. Do I like him? No, he didn't like Matt Canada. And of course that set them back a little bit, having to bring in a guy who Ed Ogeron didn't like. Point being here, whoever this next head coach is, okay, don't force them to retain guys against their will. For instance, Blake Baker. If the head coach feels like his defensive philosophy isn't aligned with Blake Baker's, then you know what? It's been real, Blake Baker. I think there's guys you should recommend. Hey, this guy knows the state, knows the recruits. This guy has been doing a good job coaching. This would be someone to retain. Don't send someone packing for the sake of sending them packing, because you know what? We saw what happened. Brian Kelly sent Blake Baker, and he sent Corey Raymond packing just to bring him back 2 years later after costing himself a national championship by not retaining those guys, by the way, and having to pay him more money now because, they went somewhere and did whatever. It's just don't send them to the curb just to do it, is my point.
Bill Ferrer, if MVP Michael Van Buren had played earlier, we might have won a couple more games. I need to go look at that. Is there a game that you would immediately say yes to that?
Ole Miss, I think, because that's a game where Nussmeier just simply couldn't throw the ball. It's definitely not going to help against Texas A&M. He was in the game against Alabama, and we saw was the exact same result. So maybe Ole Miss, but I don't think that Michael Van Buren was so impressively good today that you're scoring. You effectively scored 30 points today, guys. Like, let's not.
That's a good one, Dane. New season landman tomorrow. Absolutely.
I don't even know what that is. But let's not overreact, guys, to 400 yards of offense against the worst defense in the
You don't know what landman is?
Don't know what landman is.
Oh, man.
Mike, I'm a ball watcher. I don't know landman.
Ex-Cajun Frank and Raymond got to stay only. Yeah, it did. That binder went 15-0 in 2019.
Sure did. You hire the right guy, maybe a little bit of that binder comes back.
Dane Bergeron wants Coach O back as head coach. We get it.
I don't want Coach O back as head coach. That is not what I was implying when I said part of the binder. I just meant possibly D-line coach. And by the way, I've talked to people, and I can tell you, Ed's not just saying he would come back as D-line. He actually means it when he would take the D-line coach if offered.
Dr. John Sibley Butler, great win for the Tigers. Let's upgrade the talent at all levels. Let's not beat up on Nuss. He gave his best. No backwards comparisons. Dr. Butler is always positive, ain't he? Always.
Appreciate you. Yeah, knows his stuff too.
He's always positive.
Appreciate you for watching, Dr. Butler.
And I love that. Fire 3-4. Mike, did Texas hold it against Mac Brown that he coached at Tulane? No. So the idea of hiring, my point, Fire, was that people want to say that LSU wouldn't hire Napier because he was at ULL down the street, and they wouldn't hire a Tulane coach because he's also at a smaller Louisiana school. It's a different thing, but
I think the little brother syndrome of that, we can't hire Tulane's coach.
I don't think there's any little brother syndrome when it comes to Tulane. I just don't. It might have been there 30, 40 years ago, and that's going to be your same boomers and older. That Ole Miss was like, the end all be all every year. The Ole Miss game was absolutely LSU's biggest rival, and it hasn't been that way for 30 years. But for an aging out generation, that Tulane stuff might have held more water.
Do you know where Jim Tressel coached before he got the Ohio State job? Youngstown State, an FCS school. Okay, so
yep.
And Jim Tressel won a national championship at Ohio State, won a ton of games before scandals forced him out in 2010. I'm just saying, guys, it's not like a coach coming from a smaller school or a smaller in-state school. It's impossible to win with. Now, if there's other things like the thing I would point to with Summerall is inconsistencies at time. He got blown out by UTSA the other day.
It's a great win against Memphis.
He's 1-6 against top 25 teams in the last 4 years, with the one win being against number 25 UTSA in a bowl game at Troy 4 years ago. So basically, he hasn't beaten a good team since he took over as a head coach. That would be a little alarming to me. I understand he's had a successful track record.
I can tell you right now, Auburn is absolutely giddy that they think he's their guy.
Well, sure, and he's going to get a major job. That's my point. I'm just telling you what the knock on him would be if you want to. I don't care that he's coach at Tulane, but what I do care about is, shouldn't at some time in 4 years, if you're a highly successful, highly winning coach, shouldn't you have some sort of good win somewhere in there?
Yep. All right, you see it on the screen. Go tomorrow morning. The greatest brunch in Baton Rouge, Capital City Grill, and the chicken and waffles is to die for with the Steen syrup. And, of course, 100 Lafayette Street downtown. A lot of you are in town staying in hotels. Hit the brunch over at Capital City Grill before you get out of town. They've got the mimosas flowing. And if you're not up for breakfast food, they have, of course, the typical great sandwiches and burgers, the seafood pasta. They have steaks, almost everything priced at $30 or below for a very affordable experience. Everything's fresh. And for unreal desserts, get the carrot cake, get it to go if you're too full. You can go see the menu at capitalcitygrill.net. And please let the hostess and your waiter know that you heard about them on TigerBait, and that's why you're over there. Please let all our sponsors know that you heard about them here on TigerBait.
Tweet a picture, guys. Tweet a picture of your plate. I'll give you a retweet if you tag us.
Yep. And let's see what I got here. Dykes Electrical, the official electrical company of TigerBait.com. No matter how big or small your electrical needs might be, Dykes is wired for success. You need a brand new 10-story office building, they can wire that. 200,000 square foot warehouse that you need built, they can wire that. If you're expanding your existing commercial building, changing out a breaker, whole electrical panel, just a receptacle, upgrading the old lighting in your home or office, they can do all of it. Give them a call today at the number on your screen, 225-216-9180 for a free estimate on your project. And as always, tell them TigerBait, and very much appreciative. Great Baton Rouge owned and operated company. Great folks, of course, licensed, bond, and insured. And please do some business with them. They're one of our great sponsors. All right, and let's get some more in here. Preston, you want to take some?
Yeah, I just want to point out on Dykes real quick. Mike,
hold on. I am not a boomer.
I had that one locked and loaded.
No.
Yeah, he's like 2 years younger than the boomers, guys. All right.
No, I'm absolutely 100% Gen X. I graduated high school in the 80s.
Hold up, but personality-wise, wouldn't you say you have a very boomer
Gen X is your greatest living generation, my friend.
Yeah, the most what's the
Preston comes from the woke generation.
The woke generation, huh? Oh man,
right.
You know me.
In your safe spaces.
In his soul, he's a boomer, and he always will be.
No. I'm not even close to that.
You're right. You are Gen X. You know why you're Gen X? Because you hate everything.
Okay, Dane showing that he's a boomer.
I
knew he had to be a boomer. That is our worst current living generation. All right.
Carrot cake, folks. Well, we agree on something. I'm just teasing my boomer people here. Carrot cake, guys. The carrot cake at Capital City Grill is unbelievable. How about that one? Brian Russell wants them to keep Summerall. Wants Auburn to have
Yeah.
him.
I'm just having some fun, Nancy. Nothing wrong with boomers. But I'll give millennials hell, especially since Preston's right here with me.
Oh, he does frequently, guys.
Yep. Here, all right, Dr. Butler. I am a boomer. Mike is still throwing up baby food and burping pet milk. All right, Dr. Butler. He can throw some zingers. I like it. Kenny Haines with a super chat. Thank you, Kenny. Of course, sponsor of our show. No matter who the next coach is, the chances are that 11-3 will cry
home run.
Home
HR?
run. And third will be a bust. Yep.
Oh, okay. 1/3. It's supposed to be 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. There's a 1/3 chance that it'll be a home run, 1/3 chance that it'll be a 1/3 chance that it's a bust, which
I think he's right. I think he's probably about right.
Yeah, that's typically how it goes.
Missed Gen X by 2 months, but had Gen X upbringing. There you go. You did well. And Brian Russell agrees.
Here's the deal about being Gen X, guys. You don't have to actually be in Gen X. You just have to hate everything and everyone, and you're in, baby. You got it.
Yeah, that's not no. What Preston hasn't figured out is that I love playing I like to play the role of a boomer in his presence, just to play the caricature.
Get off my grass.
Don Wheat, that would be very nice. Don Wheat. I want a football coach like Jay Johnson. Yes.
Be great. No, so Nick Saban, right? That's who you want?
Mm-hmm.
Generation Jones.
All right, let's see. You see anyone you want to put up there?
You're damn right I do.
No, that I saw that one earlier.
Oh,
man, I lived in Lafayette for 31 years. I know what gumbo is. It's not that New Orleans junk.
My hot take is okra and gumbo.
Man, I'm taking shots at boomers and New Orleans food now.
Well, if
I'm really stepping in it.
Tomatoes in it, it's basically northern Mississippi food at that point.
Mm-hmm.
How about this one?
Oh no, I do not dust crawfish. No.
God, that's the worst. Have y'all heard anything on Saban? I know it's not happening. I mean, no. I understand what the Vegas odds were, but you got to understand the way Vegas is playing those books. It's like by offering you less money, they're getting more people to bet on him, right? So to them, it's a win-win, and they're just playing people's silly desires. It's not like a football game where something's, going to transpire very soon. You know what I mean? A very concrete thing, and people know how teams play and all that jazz. Like, it could be anything. So why not? Hell, why not Saban? There's a connection there. No, I mean, and Mike, tell me if you're right here, but I haven't heard any movement behind the scenes on Saban and LSU other than Verge's interview basically declining it.
Yeah, no. Travis Wilbur, hold up, sir. Our food in New Orleans is delicious. No, I'm basically telling you the difference between Creole and Cajun. Creole gumbo versus Cajun gumbo. I do not like. Well, I'll say do not like. It's palatable. I'll eat it, but without a doubt, I want Cajun gumbo over Creole gumbo. I don't want tomatoes in my gumbo.
Okra, Mike?
I like a good shrimp and okra gumbo.
I like okra chicken and sausage too. Okra just belongs in gumbo. I'm a huge okra guy.
This is a good question by Brian Russell. Who is the dark horse choice for this job? The very last person you would think of other than Saban.
Not a name you're going to want to hear, but I got one. Should I say it, Mike?
Go ahead.
Jimbo Fisher, which would just, first off, I would be repulsed. Okay. I think that would be awful. But
That would be a disaster.
Oh, I think it would be I will.
And 10 years ago, I was the guy beating the drum for him.
Well, I will.
But that was in 2015 when they decided to keep less another 4 games.
It was.
But the following year in 2016, I didn't want him.
It was in 2015 when his offense was still somewhat fresh. Okay. Look, Mike. The reason why is because he's available. He's there. You're not going to have a lot of BS to put up with, and you basically pay him whatever you want. And the argument is, well, okay, we're not going to pay the coach, so we're going to be able to use these resources and donors to get NIL collections. But my thought on that is, didn't you basically have NIL money unlimited at Texas A&M, right? Didn't you basically do nothing with it? And didn't basically those same coaches and players that you had, aren't they now 10-0 and looking like perennial contenders under Mike Elko, who came for half your wage just about? Look, there's nothing that can make me say Jimbo Fisher will be a good hire, but I think we're being a little naive if we say he's not at least being considered by someone.
Buddy and Mike are the perfect pair. It all makes sense now. Buddy's a boomer. I'm Gen X. Preston's the millennial. And then I've got a bunch of other guys. Gia Piccarella, her brother Emil is the walk-on quarterback for LSU that does a lot of baseball video for us and other things. She's Gen Z. I will say, though, from my experience as a business owner running a business, there's a lot to be excited about with the Gen Z. I think they have a much better work ethic than the millennials.
You guys know I'm a millennial because Mike holds me accountable for every dumb thing that the millennial generation does, which I try to do for the Gen X generation to him as well. But then you realize the Gen X generation doesn't do anything. So there's nothing I can hold him accountable for.
Kenny Haines, give me Kelvin Shepherd and call me in 4 years.
Would you be mad at that?
Look, man, I think that they should talk to him. I think they should talk to him. Absolutely.
Here's what I like about Kelvin Shepherd. He has a top 10 NFL defense. The Lions organization, they don't like him. They love Kelvin Shepherd. You listen to him speak, he's a leader of men. Would he fit in this program? Of course he would. He gets LSU. He played for LSU. He was an elite linebacker for LSU not that long ago. So he's a tactician. He's a guy who understands it. He's a guy, motivation, you all that. You would get NFL experience. He's going to be able to recruit with that. There's a lot to like about Kelvin Shepherd.
Yeah.
Golly, we're having trouble steering away from the generation.
We're having some fun here because we've got. I'm looking in here at the list, and a lot of our users have photos of themselves, and there's a good breakdown across all the generations. So this has been a little fun of a side chat, chat here.
We're about to get canceled for it, though.
Yeah. Eric DeLion, Gen X, was born and raised in St. James, St. John Parish. To say New Orleans style gumbo is tomato, and it shows you don't know what you're talking about, my friend. Well, I will say this. I don't dine a whole lot in New Orleans, but if we're anywhere in what New Orleans people would call the touristy areas, there is a big difference between the gumbo that you're going to get. And I go to the nice restaurants too. All right. It's not the same as what you're going to get in Lafayette and the Acadiana region of Louisiana where you're eating Cajun food. But that doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, I like it all.
One thing about Acadiana is that dusted crawfish, man. Can't. Nope.
Brad DeVede, Mike, I know you hate him and he's a jerk, but Mullen is a great offensive mind. I'd take him. I just hope it doesn't get to. I don't hope it doesn't get to that point.
But Mike, my question is, does he want to leave UNLV? He seems pretty like content and happy. You know, I mean, a lot of times guys get these premier SEC jobs and they realize there's less pressure here in the desert at UNLV. And, you know, I get to live in Las Vegas. Like, yeah, I'll take that.
Put some more up, Preston.
Yeah, I got one here. Preston ruined us with the Jimbo Fisher member. Well, I mean, yeah, it's the dark horse candidate, and I gave you the dark horse candidate. I would be infuriated if that's it. In fact, if it's Jimbo Fisher, I will rip LSU.
Jimbo Fisher's name has come up from several sources of mine that he was further down the line, like 6th or 7th, but his name was listed.
But you asked for a dark horse, and I gave you a dark horse. So there you go.
I mean, earlier this week, a name that popped out early in the week was Josh Heupel. He's another one that I wouldn't care for. In fact, you could give me just about everybody else that's a realistic candidate, and I would take him over Josh Heupel.
I would rather hire a coach from a program that doesn't have the resources anywhere close to LSU, but hasn't won at the level you want to win at, than a coach who is at a university with similar resources, maybe a tiny step down resources than LSU, and make the argument that LSU is just so elite that it'll push him over the top. Doesn't sit well with me. That's why I don't know that I'd want Josh Heupel. He won't be in the playoffs this year, which is where you're trying to get at LSU. And Tennessee, make no mistake, is an elite program.
All right, guys, when you're looking for your next vehicle, make sure you support a local dealership that supports the Tigers. Matt Bowers Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram on Airline Highway near Barringer Foreman in Baton Rouge has an awesome NIL deal with LSU tight end Trey Green. You simply cannot beat their quality service. They include their lifetime powertrain warranty on all new vehicles. Shop them online today at mattbowerscdjr.com. And I'm telling you right now, Ram pickup trucks are super hot. Whether it's the Rebel, the Longhorn, Limited, Tungsten, what Ram is putting out pickup truck wise with that new Hurricane motor. They brought the Hemi back. You need to get over to Matt Bowers and test drive one. And here we go.
What's up, Tiger Nation? It's Trey Green. Go see my friend Matt Bowers when you need your next ride.
Get Matt's lifetime powertrain warranty included with every new vehicle purchase.
Shop smart. Buy local. Matt Bowers, CDJR, Baton Rouge.
There you go. And Stroubes was there last night, had a filet, and it was absolutely fantastic. You see the cowboy ribeye on the screen. Preston was there, a week or so ago for his birthday.
This week.
Happy birthday, Preston, this week.
Thank you.
And he had the cowboy ribeye. And so, again, 107 3rd Street, high level of service and great food, all fresh ingredients, USDA prime black Angus steaks, 100% certified Wagyu New York strip. And they've got the dry aged pork chop. The missus had the steak Diane, and that looked incredible. Next time I go back, I'm getting the steak Diane. That's how good it looked. And she gave me a bite of hers. That is my next order when I go to Stroubes. Book your reservation online at Stroubes.com and let them know TigerBait sent you in. And we did have the lamb lollipops is our appetizer. Simply great food over there. And the place was packed, Preston. A lot of football fans. In fact, a couple of my notes said they were at Stroubes because they heard about them on TigerBait. So,
yeah,
really good.
Means a lot to hear that. My mother-in-law dropped off someone there last night who had listened to the show.
How much money does LSU have to spend? Asked Kenny Haines. The answer there narrows the field. The numbers that I've been hearing, I know that with how this thing started in the political realm and what was being said there had everybody scared that LSU was going to the dollar store. The numbers that I've been hearing are what you would expect. And it's what BK it was getting and more. Although everything I hear is that the number of years is less.
Yeah,
that you're hearing about 6 and 7 year deals.
I have confidence that LSU is plenty capable of making whoever the next coach is the highest paid coach in college football, if that is what they deem he deserves. However, I do believe where LSU is going to try to change the way they operate is length and buyout, right? They're just they don't want to pay a coach for failing like what we're seeing right now.
Andy Whitaker said he went to Capital City Grill for his anniversary 2 weeks. It was really good. Glad you enjoyed it, Andy.
Love it.
Thanks for
Love
going. They really got good hamburgers. Their club sandwich is excellent too.
Yeah, if you're looking for like an affordable, nice American grill experience downtown, I mean, there's a lot of expensive, nice places to go downtown. Capital City Grill is the best, like just casual type place. If you're just looking for somewhere nice, man, I love that place.
Tiger Mark, late getting here, guys, but what a solid performance by Van Buren. Whoever the next coach should build around him, and I think he can become a quarterback of the future.
Big question there.
I still think you go out and you try to upgrade if you can, but there's certainly it wouldn't be the end of the world. I wish he was man, I like it when he runs. He's not doing as much of it as I thought he would. Or do you feel the same?
What, that he didn't run enough? I mean,
yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him run a little bit more.
He had what about after adjusting for sacks? How many sacks did he take today? He took 4 for 33 yards. Okay, so let's add that into his total. He had 68 yards on 6 carries. Yeah, he ran pretty well.
But what was his long? He had a big one.
35.
Yeah, 35. I mean,
but
I would like to see more of that from him.
I loved what he did with his legs. His accuracy, guys, was all over the place. He had multiple dropped interceptions. He had multiple open receivers where he just missed it. And guys, it's exactly what we told you in practice. A lot of dimes and ducks. But ultimately, was he better than an injured Garrett Nussmeier? Absolutely, he's better than an injured Garrett Nussmeier.
Eric DeLine on with a super chat. Appreciate your shows, Mike. I think you do have the best LSU content. Man, thank you so much for those nice words. I think you have the best content. I hate spell check. Thank you, Eric. Big time.
I appreciate the shout out to Mike and just leaving me off that one. I appreciate you.
Yeah, there he goes. That's a millennial in you. Got it. It's all about you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Dr. John Sibley Butler, King Alexander called the pilot for Jimbo Fisher's plane that was on the runway and said, "We are keeping less." He jumped on the AD because of all this stuff. Oh yeah. I mean, I've because of what we're going through, and we were talking about history, we probably talked about this scenario how many times in the last month, but that Saturday night in Tiger Stadium when Joe Oliva said we're keeping less, I was ill. I wanted to go home and get in the fetal position for about 4 days. That was disgusting. Nobody at LSU at that time had any sack.
What have I got? Something. Preston, there were a lot of drops. Stop making excuse for who's making an excuse for Nussmeier? I'm telling you, he's hurt, hadn't played well this year, and some of it was certainly his fault. Yeah, there were a lot of dropped interceptions today for sure too. I mean, it was a solid outing for him. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's going to win the Heisman. I'm not going to sit here and say for sure you should build your program around him next year. Thought he showed something. I mean, look at the first four or five throws of the game. They were dreadful. I mean, yes, 21-31, solid day, but it's not like he was going out there trying to win the Heisman today.
Yeah, Jeremy Franks, Alabama looks like they're about to get upset at home, and based on my scoreboard, it's 23-21 Oklahoma, and Alabama with the ball on the 48, 4th and 6. Keep us updated how that goes, will you? Minute and 23 left.
Another comment. Hold up. I'm going to get to this one. He's not hurt. Carvister, I'm going to tell you on very good sourcing, he's hurt, and he's been hurt all year. Not making that up.
I disagree.
I understand, but you know where it comes from, Mike.
Yep. No. Mm-hmm.
But also just, I mean, you go from a guy who has 4,000 yards last year to a guy who has inconsistently been able to throw the ball downfield at all. I mean, come on, guys. Lack of work ethic doesn't explain you can't throw a 15-yard throw.
John Silly, but Van Buren is not a fast runner like the Arkansas quarterback who is a track star. He runs like Dak Prescott. I think he's somewhere in between there.
Yeah. No, Van Buren ran well today. I mean, he did and he was decisive with it. My favorite play for Van Buren today, he had an open lane to run for a first down to help
Oklahoma has the ball. That game's over, man.
Oh, wow. How about that?
23-21.
God, and he almost caught that too. Great coverage. Anyways, Van Buren late in the game, was rolling out to the right, had a wide open lane to run for a first down, but wouldn't have been a touchdown. Kept his eyes downfield, focused, saw Bauer sharp open in the end zone, and hit him right in the numbers. Touchdown. That was a ballsy throw, and he deserves a ton of credit for it because it's a tough throw to make. It's a tough throw to make, and he did it. On third down, nonetheless. A lot of guys would have taken the easy first down, so good for him. Wow. So down goes Bama. Now LSU has to play there in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, no, it's at Alabama. Oh, my God. They went into Alabama and got an upset. Wow. Carver sounds like Moscona.
Travis Wilbur not shocked. LSU should have beat Bama, but the offense just couldn't complete the job. You're right, Travis.
Yeah.
That's a nice win for Oklahoma.
And guys, I do want to throw another caveat out there before we declare them just champions of the world today. I'm not dogging them, but I do want to say this was an abysmal defense for Arkansas. This was an abhorrently bad defense. This is one of their worst defenses in their school history. They have a top 8 offense. Okay. No, the 8th offense in college football, and they're 2-7. That is how bad this defense is, guys. And you scored 30 points. I'm going to give them 30 points today because of what Harlem Berry unselfishly did. But it's not as if you went out there and hung a 100 on them.
All right, Bays. Last one I got to get in tonight, Tiger fans. 315 North Boulevard, Old Jolie Pearl, the freshest farm-raised oysters from Grand Isle. No mud, no grit, just clean, delicious flavor. If you're not eating oysters, you can get the boiled shrimp. They got to try their turkey, brie, and bacon sandwich. That's my favorite. And their classic roast beef po' boy. They got a fully stocked bar, top-notch bourbon, whiskey, massive craft beer selection. They spent a fortune revamping that restaurant. You got to get over to Bays and experience it. And the oysters are amazing. Don't miss out on Baton Rouge's newest oyster spot, and make sure to let them know TigerBait sent you in. Wow. You know, Oklahoma is what I thought they were going to be in the preseason. Texas A&M. Remember me saying Texas A&M was the team that I thought was going to surprise people, and look what they've done. What's going to happen? What's it like in Columbia, South Carolina tonight? Holy smokes, what a meltdown.
Boy, I cannot imagine that.
Yeah.
I mean, you blow a 30-3 halftime lead. I mean, Mike, all you have to do is
that's disgusting.
Just run the ball and just nothing. I mean, my God.
Al Juvenatum got lucky. But you know what, man? When you're having a magical season, sometimes you need something crazy like that. You typically have one of those in there, but nothing like that we saw today to that degree. That was crazy.
By the way, Oklahoma is now going to be playing for a playoff spot when LSU comes to town.
Yeah. All right. If y'all enjoyed the show, please do me a favor and hit that like button. subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. If you're watching us on Facebook, please hit that follow button and the like button as well, or the love button that you could do on Facebook. We've got Frank Wilson's post game up on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook and on the front page of TigerBait.com. Brian Lazar's instant analysis is up already. Preston is wrapping up his piece. We're going to have some recruiting information as well, possibly this evening or tomorrow. We're working on that. And Preston with LSU Football Fix will be Monday at 8 o'clock, unless his wife, dear wife, Alyssa, gives birth. She's due any minute. So y'all keep Preston and Alyssa in your thoughts. And anything you want to add, Preston?
No, guys, wish me luck. This should be the week. We got our baby girl coming to town. So I'll keep y'all posted, and we'll see how that affects Western Kentucky next week as well.
Absolutely. Y'all enjoy the rest of the weekend. Watch the rest of the football. And Buddy and I will be in on Wednesday with TigerBait Live. And look, we're at heading for the week of November 16th. I'm starting to wonder when, because when when is some of the info really, is the dam going to break? Is it mainly going to be a concentration of Thanksgiving week?
Mm-hmm.
Or does some start to trickle out early?
Can I make a comment on that real quick? Because we've already had more information trickling out this cycle than the entire 2021 cycle. Isn't that kind of wild?
Yeah, but
not surprising.
I kind of wonder, like, there's a whole lot of what we're hearing but something that's more concrete. But I tell you what we're going to be doing on TigerBait, just so you know. And we had this debate the other day. We're going to give you on our premium message board what we're hearing while we get it, and we're going to tell you this is what this info is today and what it could mean tomorrow or next week, because that's the way it is the second week in November during a college football season. But I tend to think that things are going to start trickling out a little bit more, and then the dam breaks Thanksgiving week. So it's going to be an interesting next month, the next 3 to 4 weeks, between coaching search, who gets the job, because if you roll out on December 1, that month, it's a Monday, December 1, and the new head football coach is not arriving via private plane at Baton Rouge Airport and having an introductory press conference, then that's really going to make things interesting. Because when you look around at who are the possible candidates that we've all been listing, how many of them are playoff bound, Preston?
Many.
No, but I'm talking about real candidates.
Oh, well.
With high probabilities. Not many.
Yeah, right. Well, unless you count NFL playoffs.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, hit that like button. Y'all enjoy the rest of the day. And we got a lot for you on TigerBait.com. Please go subscribe. $1. We're on our premium message board, dropping tidbits, and we're going to have that all for you, covering this coaching search. We want to have you as a part of our TigerBait premium community. And thanks to all of you that participate on the show, and good night.